Thank you for taking this time out. Welcome to the Sky Network show. We have Yogesh with us. We have our guests with us, Dan and Richie from Evolve. Thank you guys for joining us. Welcome to the show. Yeah, so many of us are meeting second time again on the same show.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, last show was insightful conversation. Richie demonstrated some of he demonstrated his project Evolve, as well as Dan gave us a very good grasp of the market last time when we discussed. So it was an amazing show, and today also we are looking forward to insightful conversation. Yeah. So we are already going live. So we are live on Secure Chain AI, Facebook and YouTube. Just one moment. We'll be going live on other media channels as well. All right, Yogesh, would you like to start with the introductions?
Yeah, so welcome everyone. This is good to be here every Saturday. And we have guest at the moment. Welcome back again. We all already had a conversation before, and we had a privilege to have you on our show before. So I'm also thrilled to have you here on the show as well. So yeah, then would you like to introduce yourself for the people who might are the new to the for this show?
Well, my name is Dan Lutz. I've been working in crypto for 7, 8 years. I even looked back to 2018 when I was working on a mining-based coin and looked at the Bitcoin chart that I made and showing how it's logarithmic and projected forward and where we should be today. Actually, 2024, we should be at $10 million a coin.
Wow. Right. So
But
you also have seen the coin Bitcoin at the price of what? So when did you see the price of Bitcoin? When
in the
you
beginning, $1.
$1. Now is 100K, approx
Yeah,
100K.
yeah.
So
I won't tell my mining woes about a lost hard drive with untold numbers of Bitcoin on it. But yeah, I've been in it for a long time. Focused on, in the beginning, very beginning, on algorithmic based coins. And at the time, they were saying, "Oh, you can't do that." Now everybody's doing algorithmic based coins. Yeah, it's an obvious thing that you want to have, some kind of interaction with the coin, and have it act in other ways than just traditional methods. But anyway,
right.
so I've been in it a while, and currently focused on projects that to membership based coins to generate in a mining effort by adding members to a coin. And that's actually an activity that releases the coin as a block. And following the same Bitcoin model, actually. So we stick with 21 million coins and 100,000 coins per block for the first 100 blocks, and then a halving event and continue for 2,100 blocks. We're only in block two, just about to close block two.
Right.
But we're using Tron blockchain because of our ability to store the energy system there, and able to go ahead and store our data to the blockchain, and at effectively nominal cost.
Right. Right. Definitely. So as you already said, you had a journey from $1 to 100K, and you already predicted this 100K, and now you are predicting in the coming years it will be like million or 10 million.
Yeah, the suppression that took place was from the governments around the world. That you had the U.S. government dumping a large amount of coin when Bitcoin first hit 19,000 and pushed it down to less than four. That was the time when I was actually doing a mining based coin for Bitcoin by selling a coin based on 1 billion instructions per second. So more coins, the more mining power you had. So uh, the at that time that push down went right down to less than $4,000 a coin, and then it creeped back up over 50K, right? But it took 2 years, right? So Bitcoin has a 2 year times 10 logarithmic pattern. Because of the 4 year halving event, it forces that to happen every 2 years times 10. The suppression by the governments has kept it down. Now that you see the government's changing their tune, Donald Trump saying he's going to remove all of the obstacles in the U.S., right? The SEC chairman in the U.S. has stepped down just a couple of days ago. Uh, and the uh, acquisition of 1 million Bitcoins for a reserve that they're not going to sell is going to force Bitcoin to where it should be, $10 million per coin. But it won't. How long will it take? 2 years.
Right.
But it'll be a fun ride to get there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's for sure. I will go to the Richie, and would you like to also introduce, and also what is your thoughts on this topic? Want to add on to this? What's your opinion on this?
Hey, everybody. So, for those that don't know me, I am the CEO of Evolve Foundation and the founder of Evolve Blockchain. And we built a gold reserve backed deflationary Evo coin doing over 100K TPS. And like many in the space, we are building out the solution, a bridge, an option for other people to get into the space and appeal to a broader audience. When it comes to what the gentleman before me was saying, I agree that there's been so much oppression over the years. There's no coincidence that as soon as the CME exchange futures went live, in right around when Bitcoin hit 20,000 USD, that we had a crash in Bitcoin. Um, when these countries and large countries like the US start to really get behind crypto and see the benefits of it, not just the price that's irrelevant at this point, um, the actual utility, using this technology to solve problems. Like at Evolve, for example, we are building on a few different solutions, one being Evo Health, another one being Evo Access, and we'll put more information about those in the near future. But we're really starting to see people utilize blockchain technology to solve real world problems. And when you start to do that, more people use these applications and these utilities in their day to day life. And as an extension of that, they'll have to incorporate blockchain into day to day life. And that may be on the back end of a lot of these applications where people don't necessarily need to know exactly how blockchain is in that application, just that it's secure and it's being used. As a result, inevitably, we're going to get those price increases and these bull runs of this mass adoption flooding into the space. And that's what we're seeing now, right? We're seeing the US take a pro Bitcoin, a pro crypto stance with a new president coming into power, and that being one of the leaders in the world right now, the US, and other countries around the world are starting to take similar stances, right? Until the US took this stance, we saw Europe with regulations that were coming to play. We saw Dubai very favorable to crypto as well. But I think the push that we're about to get from North America is going to be unlike something we've seen to this point. And the flood, the mass adoption that comes because of that trust associated with a country as big as the US, kind of changing their tune altogether. And we were talking about Gensler stepping down. He had to, he was going to get fired anyway. So it's that traditional, you can't fire me, I quit situation. But we have such an optimistic and pro crypto stance right now when it comes to all the countries that are changing their tune. That million Bitcoin reserve that the gentleman was talking about earlier, that is going to be absolutely massive. You're looking at Poland, I heard recently saying something similar where they want to establish a reserve as well. We're seeing Bitcoin solidify as an asset that's going to store value against many other assets classes out there, but outperform most of those, in my opinion. And it's going to be an exciting ride. We're going to see something that we've never seen before. And I think everyone who is actually building utilities and building use cases in the space and creating, right, being innovative, um, we're going to see all these not all of them, but a lot of these projects do really well in the next 2, 3, 5 years. And I don't think we have a good estimation of how quickly that's going to jump up there. But I do agree with the gentleman earlier. We're going to see Bitcoin in prices that seem crazy right now, but it's inevitable because there's only less than 21 million Bitcoin, and everybody wants them. And now it's not just us; it's governments fighting for a piece of the pie, right?
Right. Yeah. We're gonna see the also because of the overprinting of the fiat currency causes inflation, which means it's really just losing value compared to everything else. That would also mean it's going to accelerate the rate of Bitcoin. If remember back, we've seen many Bitcoin runs where they go up 20% in a day, 30% in a
Yeah.
day, right? It falls back. We might not see it fall back, right? And we could easily see it, go to 300K very quickly, right? And then fall back a bit. But then it's going to find its new floor. Its new floor should be in 300K range, not 100K, because of all of these other factors, rates and everything else coming into this. We're going to see that there's so much demand that these typical runs that we've seen, the patterns are really a law. It's not normal. It's going to catch up. So because of these other factors, it's just going to be a very big run.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you put the topics really well, the geopolitics, how the world politics affects this industry particularly. Um, Also, other than the geopolitical event, we also have an event called Bitcoin halving also passed recently as well, Bitcoin halving. What do you say Bitcoin impact of that into the price movement down the road about Bitcoin halving?
The halving is always the effect is really over 2 years. It has usually a drop, maybe a little bump, and then it drops, and then it makes that run up over the next year. Uh, Also, the December timeframe also always pushes it up, right? So we usually have that go up. I just don't think it's going to be the same as before. I think because it's been suppressed now, those obstacles are being removed, and a big push pushed ahead. So I really think we're going to see it just make a run that no one's seen, and it's going to go by hundreds of percent. It'll double, triple very quickly, right? Because there just won't be enough. Now, I don't know if that's December, but probably in through June of next year, we'll see something like that happen.
Right.
I completely agree. I think that we saw the artificial pump before the happening, right after the ETFs took place, and you were seeing BlackRock and these large funds get their positions into Bitcoin, and that brought us to 60,000. After that, we saw more and more news coming out that was bullish to the crypto space. We're seeing the whole space in general being lifted up and going away from that traditional in the dark scams and all that kind of rhetoric to, hey, this is a viable industry, right? And this technology is here to stay. Countries are acknowledging that. We're going to get the geopolitical side, I think, is so important because regulations come from that side. And any company that's trying to make it in the space and do it in a way that is compliant, in a way that can be built into a company that works all over the world, right? We have to work with government, so we kind of need that step. We need those pieces to fall into place. And even in the U.S., we have to wait a few more months to see exactly what that looks like. But it's very optimistic, and the price will reflect that. I agree with Dan. We haven't seen what a real bull run is with a world that's pro crypto, and not just people loving crypto like we've done for the last so many years. Countries starting to really take that favorable tone towards crypto. Um, Projections are just projections right now because we've never seen this happen, right? I don't think we've hit even close to 10% of adoption mainstream yet. when we really hit those 10, 20, 30% of the population using crypto day to day in their applications and other things in their lives, um, then we'll start to see what this is going to look like price wise and price action. But it's one of those things. It's swimming against the stream, right? If these countries are against you and the SEC is coming after all these crypto companies and slowing them down, like what happened with XRP, for example, it's extremely hard to succeed in that environment. And crypto has, right? Bitcoin's been one of the best performing assets in the last several years, even with that downwards pressure. If those holds bars are let go and we have upwards pressure now, it's going to be fascinating to see exactly what happens here. I'm excited to say the least. Our company is positioning ourselves in a position to benefit and succeed with this change in policy, this change in environment that we're getting right now. And yeah, we're going to see. It's going to be one heck of a ride, in my opinion.
Right, right. It's a crypto adoption, right? So that's what you are
Yeah.
saying. Crypto adoption
Well,
in next.
I know it's been adopted because my daughter just yesterday asked me, how does she get Bitcoin?
Right,
And those
right.
are conversations we're starting to see more and more of. When you go to functions, when you go to family events, I'll give you an example. I went to a wedding yesterday, and in the past years, many people didn't know what crypto was, maybe one or two people. And now you're seeing across the board where you go to these events and now quite a few, if not most of the people have heard of Bitcoin or know more than that, right? They're actually in the markets and keep up to date. I had at least 20 to 30 conversations yesterday with people at the event that about crypto and the future of crypto and what we're doing and everything like that. So that change is happening as well. It's not just the countries, it's the general population knowing, learning, and starting to get into crypto. So the next steps is going to be giving them the easiest entry point possible and the simple entry point so that your grandmother can use this. And it's not just the early adopters and the more tech savvy people that are getting into crypto. So that's all coming into play at the same time. We have a perfect storm that's happening at this very point in time. And we're going to see where this goes, right? We're going to hopefully everyone is able to use this, everyone is able to benefit and prosper from this. And at the same time, the price will reflect that. Right?
Right, definitely. So basically, the now is the best time for those people who missed the trend in the past. Right. So this is the best time to get into the
They
right.
didn't miss it. They just missed it for a dollar, but you know, they can still get a dollar's worth and it'd be $10 worth at 2 years. So don't hold back, right? You need to get in. You know, they have something called a Satoshi millionaire, right? That means you can get a million Satoshis, and then if it goes to a dollar each, you're a millionaire. So
Yeah.
anyone can focus on this, right? And that's just 0.000000001 Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
I had enough zeros there, but
I,
but you can still get in and do it. It's just a matter that you need to learn these steps. Get to an exchange, go ahead and connect to your bank, send some money. So I do hear from people that the banks are refusing to send money to the exchanges, big banks. It's happening more and more. So yeah, you may have some issues, but something to look at. There's some tricks to get around it.
I believe the saying goes, the best time was yesterday, the next best time is today, and the next best time is tomorrow, right? So we have something that's it's groundbreaking, right? So with that comes the adoption, with that comes the people thinking that they missed the boat. We are so early in this. Like I said before, we're not even at 10% across the world when it comes to population adoption and people actually using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right? We're gonna have the next several years people going through these markets and seeing which cryptos are the best solution for them, which blockchains were built in a way that benefits them or gives them a perceived value that they believe, you know what, this is the one I'd like to use. We all have, for example, different teams we like, We're not all going to agree on the same cryptos and at the end of the day, maybe 5% of the cryptos out there right now. And I'm not saying this bull run, I'm saying long term will actually be adopted, used, and flourish. But at the same time, we're at a point in history now where everything's going towards a more decentralized future. And that's something that's going to benefit everyone when it comes to your privacy, data security, and your day to day life. And now is the time to build those tools. You're so early. I tell everybody, innovate. If you want to solve a problem, find a way you can do it in this space and really push that forward because we are just at the beginning. If this was baseball, we might be in the third or fourth inning still. So don't think you missed anything. Like Dan was saying earlier, you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, right? Like you can buy a few Satoshis. And if Bitcoin does get to these higher numbers, you're going to, whether you put $100 or $1 million and it goes up 10 times, you make 10 times your money, right? And this isn't financial advice, but people have a conception that, oh, I missed Bitcoin because I can't afford a full Bitcoin now. It's a great, it's hitting 100,000 USD, right? But that's not the truth. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. You can buy a few Satoshis. And if we get to those mass adoption, larger numbers that we're even contemplating about right now, into the millions per Bitcoin, you are going to benefit heavily, whether you have a $10 investment or $1 million investment. So don't think that you missed the boat because you can't buy a full Bitcoin, right? That's not how it works, right? Satoshis are there and you can easily get the piece of the pie and get involved. And even if that's only a small amount, whatever you can do, you can. And like, again, it's not financial advice, but I strongly believe that people who get in now or tomorrow or next year will still get that great benefit of being a part of this. This revolution is what it is, right? We're really changing the face of what this world looks like and how we interact with each other and finance and data privacy. And this all changes with the invention of blockchain and now the adoption of blockchain. So next steps forward. Don't think you missed it. We're very early. Learn, right? Learn how to use a wallet. Learn how to set up a wallet. Keep it safe. Learn how to use an exchange, right? Learn what the different types of cryptos are. What's an NFT? All these things are pivotal so that people, when they start that first 2 or 3 steps, don't make those traditional first mistakes and then get put away from this area of the technology, right? Like once you run into a scam or something, it's hard to stay. It's hard to say, okay, you know what? I made a mistake. Let me learn from that mistake. A lot of people just say, hey, I'm out. You know what? I tried. It didn't work out. This is all scams. I'm out. So next steps is education. Next steps is ease of use and getting past that hurdle of I missed the boat. The boat has enough space for everybody. Everyone's welcome. You just have to take that first step.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right. So
I think I heard that Bitcoin is a scam.
you heard it
Bitcoin's
when?
supposed to
I
have
heard
died
that
a
Bitcoin was
thousand
a scam.
times, right?
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
many articles, article after article, year after year. Bitcoin's a scam, right?
It's a
But
big Ponzi scheme, big Ponzi scheme.
and it keeps getting bigger and bigger, right? And so
Right.
eventually, what's going to happen, right? So the issue, the thing with Bitcoin is it's designed like gold. There's limited amount of gold on the planet. You have to do work to get to the gold, and there's less and less as you go, right? And so that model means that you in governments they just print more and more money. They used to be backed by gold, but that disappeared, right? So there is no money that's backed by gold. So now you have Bitcoin, which is in essence acting as though it is gold, right? In the same way, and but governments can't come out and say we're just going to make more Bitcoin. No, it's limited. So this is going to be a stable resource for economies around the world. And so just having a little bit of it, just get a little bit and put it away for 5 years. You'll be very happy,
You
without a
make a
doubt.
great point there. It's the deflationary aspect of Bitcoin, the limited supply, and we've incorporated that same those same types of ideas when it comes to our blockchain, because we see the value, we see what's happened the last several years with inflation, with rampant spending, and poor policy, to be honest. And Bitcoin being that store of value, that traditional gold, right? We took it one more step. We actually backed our coins with gold as well, a reserve. But that's people are starting to realize the value in having a currency that is backed, a crypto that is backed, a limited supply, a deflationary supply, and why that's so important. Because we saw what happened the last 10, 20 years of what happens when governments go unchecked and can just create money out of thin air, right? We have a lot of, and social media too. I like to take a point on that too. Is we've seen a shift from mainstream media to private podcasts and smaller forms of media flip. We're seeing podcasts like Joe Rogan get so many more views than the highest, best CNNs and best, I won't say best, but these traditional systems, the traditional news and outlets that we get our information from before are no longer the status quo. We're shifting. I think there's a good correlation with how social media has developed and become that source of information for everybody, and the downfall of the traditional legacy media that has kind of went aside now. And I think there's no coincidence that we're starting to get all of these technologies pushed out there to the mainstream because of this shift in how we get our information as well, right? So there's a few different factors working all towards the success of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, Bitcoin in general, because of these shifts, because of now the shift in the government's positions, right? Um, how your crypto works, how your blockchain has been built, and the functions of it, right? The core tokenomics of everything that you've put together is extremely important. People are wising up to all of that, and yeah, should be a nice little step forward in the next little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Just before moving to the next topic, I want to ask Dan about the SEC and their ruling with the different crypto companies. So you see, there are huge amount of the cases are there where SEC is suing different crypto companies because of the changes in geopolitics right now. What do you think? Will there be any kinds of? And I get it, they might be having a good intention to protect investors and have a legal framework, regulatory framework for those people who to protect the normal citizens or other people. But what do you see? I see there are huge amount of the piles of all the cases that are pending for different crypto companies. Will there be any changes in that, or what do you say about
I
government?
think most of those cases will go away, right? They're frivolous anyway because it's not their money, right? It's if it is a security, if you're backing it with a securitized debt instrument, then yes, you are basically asking to be in that jurisdiction. Ethereum is not in that jurisdiction. Ripple is not in that jurisdiction. All these others that are not in that jurisdiction, they're their own money. Refer to it as another planet, right? Planet Tron, Planet Ethereum, right? It can move its coins around how it wants. What's the tax consequence at the Federal Reserve or in a government on Earth? It's a different jurisdiction. Now, you there's a you say like public versus private issue also because people will say, well, you can get Bitcoin on a public exchange, but Bitcoin's not in the public jurisdiction, right? It's in the private jurisdiction. It's a resource that anybody can get. Yes, even though it goes on to a public exchange, doesn't mean change its jurisdiction. It also doesn't make it a security, right? It doesn't make a security unless there is a asset that is securitized. That's when you get into the ETFs. Now you have something that is and can be taxed. So this is something I'm not really in favor of going to the ETF route and everything because then you're mixing the jurisdiction and they'll try and claim all of Bitcoin as in the into the public jurisdiction, and then make it a security. So, but all of these things, I think, are going to go away. Um, you have the brick system, you have these other systems that they're going to now interact and competing. Once they start competing, those issues that make it less favorable, such as trying to change its jurisdiction, they're not going to want to play that game. They'll lose customers. So they're gonna shy away from it. So this is one of the obstacles that will evolve away from the problems that we've been having in the industry.
Right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Richie, just want to ask you about the utility of the blockchain. So Bitcoin is moving at the super speed. What about the altcoin? For example, any other blockchain and coins and tokens, their projects are coming on the market. Will there have the impact of that into the industry of altcoin?
Altcoins in general. So there's a few. Look, I'll talk about Evolve for a second, right? The projects that actually have utility, that actually have a use case and solve a real world problem, right? Bitcoin's obviously the number one at this point and the example of what started this all. But we're going to see over time, and it may not be the ones that are leading today that lead in the next 30, 40 years. With us, we're trying to solve medical data records on the blockchain. We're trying to solve access into properties, Airbnbs, hotels, resorts, using NFT smart contracts. And we are pushing forward to really not just say, hey, this is blockchain, build on our blockchain, but start to solve real world problems and make them more secure and more decentralized as a result. So altcoins that are going to take on that role and say, hey, this is what we can do with this technology, and this is how we can make everyone's life better and more decentralized. At the same time, working with governments, the ones that obviously over-regulate are not going to get that benefit. And I think the countries now are seeing that a more pro-crypto stance, like Dubai or even Europe for its faults, but it still has a decent framework there, are going to benefit from this more than others that try to kind of over control what's happening. US, I feel like the SEC was stifling the growth of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in the US. They went across and tried to apply stuff that I don't think fit into their jurisdiction. Um, what happened with Ripple was a joke, obviously, and we see that at the end. But I think, like Dan was saying earlier, we're going to see them shift away from that stance. We're going to see more crypto-friendly regulations coming out, and as a whole, we're going to see altcoins, Bitcoin, everyone benefit from that. And the use cases and the projects that actually are solving real-world problem using this technology are going to get the benefit of that. They're going to jump up and they're going to become incorporated in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely agree, Richie. So yeah, guys. For community, I'll just simply put in a very simple words that yeah, we are just getting started, and there's a bright future ahead. Let's strap on and get ready for the ride. So it was a wonderful conversation with all of you guys. We will be moving towards the next step of our show, where we'll be providing the weekly updates regarding the security in AI. And today we will be announcing two of the rest milestones for security in AI project, and we would love to get to know your views as well. What do you say, Yogesh? So yeah, one of the new milestone, which is milestone 7, that is like a discontinuation of our SCAI mining app, and we are moving everything towards the CoinMask org, which is our decentralized wallet app, and all the staking whichever has been done so far will be migrated onto the smart contract and be ready. So stay tuned, do follow the social channels, and you will be able to find all the updates regarding that. Yes, this is one thing which we have been waiting for, and with CoinMask, we are almost ready to go live. And yeah, we are looking forward to having a great Thanksgiving and Black Friday this holiday season. So we'll be launching our Unmask APK on this Thanksgiving, and also we'll be commencing the pre-sale of the CoinMask token, which would be available on Base Network and Secure Chain AI network. Also on the Black Friday, that which is 29th. So yeah, we are getting ready for hitting a lot of things. Also, we are going multi-chain. So Yogesh, would you like to add anything about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with the W Sky will be available in all the majority decentralized exchanges. Yeah, and it would also give us kind of a push to our own ecosystem because we already have one mem coin called WCMC on our network, as well as there are other projects who are also will also get benefited by this decentralization move. So Yogesh, what are your views on this decentralization move?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So it is the right time for moving from decentralization to decentralization. Having the community take over and let them participate into the project, making it completely a community project, and having the value of democratic and decentralization. So that's a great step we can uh, take as a project in a secure chain project.
Yeah. Also, it would also will be also bringing the liquidity staking to the upcoming on our coinmask.org for secure chain AI. So it would also open a lot of DeFi opportunities for our community as well. So yeah, this would be the announcement for tomorrow. I would like to go to the Richie and Dan. So Richie, what are your views on this announcement, and what do you see like the future of the secure chain AI network?
I'm optimistic. I love what you guys are doing. CoinMass is going to be a big step forward, giving a lot of projects and blockchains that you have on there a home to call their main wallet. We, as a result, um, we want to going forward work with you guys as much as possible, um, and work together to a shared vision as well. Right? This is about community. You guys have a very strong community, and we really appreciate um, everything that's happened, having us on these chats. Um, so I guess I'll just say it myself. Evolve will be being put on this wallet as well. And as a result, we're going to have an airdrop for all the community members, and we'll have more information on how much coins will be airdropped in that process. But we were very excited about the prospect of being there, being a part of this community, and working together to shared visions. Right, everyone succeeding together, everyone working towards that path forward, and success for everyone involved.
Yeah, amazing news, Richie, and definitely we are very happy to welcome you uh, to be part of the CoinMask journey. And yeah, it is gonna be a great because whenever the prices of the Bitcoin, when the bull run starts and during the peak season, like this period, uh, this market will attract a lot of new people, and everybody will need a place to go. And that's what we are building with the coin mask. Will be allowing, there will be airdrops, will be the information about the airdrops available, there will be information about the ICOs available, there will be all the information about the events. You can book the tickets, you can go for the, it will be a nice happening place for everyone to keep in touch with the web3 market, and be a gateway, a decentralized wallet, which is kind of a need for just to get into the web3. So I think we are building some fundamental utilities here. We're very happy to be part of the Sky Network component. So Yogesh, would,
Yeah.
would like to take it forward?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, it's a long journey. Okay, I also worked with Dan for a very long time. It's many years back then we started working on a project. So, yeah, I mean it's being in this industry for a very long time and contributing into the industry, providing services, and it's a phenomenal journey. Okay, so being in this industry and creating technology utilities and everything, that's fascinating, and it's rewarding as well, right? So now we are seeing whatever we so in back then, now we have opportunity to reap the rewards. So very good time to be right now. And as Dan told, we can be anyone who is feeling pessimistic. Then there is a hope. Be a Satoshi millionaire. Okay, be a Satoshi millionaire, and there will be a time, leave it for 5 years or so, and there will be $1 for one Satoshi. You are automatically a millionaire. So industry poses a lot of hope, and yeah, it's fundamentally it's a very it's a great time. As always, it's a great time right now to get into be in this industry. Then I would like to come to you and ask you your views how we can have this industry maybe in the forward, let's say in 5 year, 10 year time, how you envision what's going to happen for the long period of time.
Well, I think AI is a big part of it, and I really appreciate your efforts in moving AI into this field. Looking for the problems, right? Looking for solutions using AI is going to be very powerful. And though it's just in the beginning, right? It's baby steps. AI isn't just in the beginning. And we need to really look at this as a base technology moving forward. Blockchain being one aspect, AI being another. So combining them is wonderful. The use of blockchain, as you know, I've been using blockchain not just to create coins, but to store information for business purposes, right? Invoices, counting invoices, numbers, and things like that, so that there's a record of those events that took place. It's not about the coin, right? Though there is coin, it's about the transaction. So what can you do in business with transactions? Probably quite a lot, right? Everything is based on doing some sort of transaction. So if you have an open ledger technology, you have AI to help you sort it, right? So that's going to be the data play in the future is using AI to sort the data to access the relevant information that you're looking for as a business through AI. And I'm not really talking about large frame data such as videos or things of that nature, though that can be there. I'm really talking about minute data, right? That is flows very easily at this time. So again, good work going in that direction. So it's a good foundation where you guys are at, and I'm sure we'll be working pretty soon with what you've developed.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Just coming out
Now,
of my development cycle right now, so it's coming up next. So.
we're going towards the end of the show. So before we go towards the end of the show, would like to go ahead to the each of our guests regarding the concluding remarks. Yogesh, would you
Yeah.
like to start with that?
Yeah, yeah. So, Richie, for those people who want to learn more about the Evolve blockchain, visit just Google search about Evolve blockchain and you find all the resources about the Evolve project and more details about the what project is and what future possibilities and utilities bringing into the industry. Yeah, Richie, you wanna say anything about more about your project and wanna say anything to our community?
Yeah, so anyone who wants to learn more about Evolve Blockchain can go to evolveblockchain.io and learn about and start to see how our blockchain works, the utilities we have, the use cases that we're building out, and why we are positioning ourselves in the way that we are to give people a new style of blockchain, a new makeup of what a blockchain is, and appeal to a broader audience, right? Really hope to achieve the mass adoption. And this is everyone working the same way together, not just saying my blockchain is better than yours or any of that. It's irrelevant, right? We all have our preferences. We chose to do the backed by gold reserve for our blockchain, in which you can exchange your EVO coins for the asset per coin amount, backing that coin itself, the EVO coin, right? So we've broken the mold. We are doing something that has not been done yet in the space, and we're looking to innovate. And I'll say one thing about both Sandeep and Yogesh. Um, they've been around for a long time. They've worked with many blockchain companies, and they're not just saying they're going to innovate; they're actually doing it, right? So they're making the example for the rest of us, right? These guys are extremely dedicated. Their teams are some of the best in the world, and that's no surprise. They're doing what they're doing with the coin mask and secure chain with the AI and everything else that's incorporated with some of these. Like Dan was saying, we have to use AI, blockchain together to make the best solutions. Because if we don't use the best tools for the right job, then we're working harder for no reason, and we're not going to be as effective as we can be. So what Secure Chain has been doing with the AI and the audits and everything else to bring that transparency, the trust, and to cut down on some of these fraud and everything else that's happening in the space is so extremely important. And I wish everyone had that mentality of um, not just talking about solving some of these problems, but actually dedicating themselves and their time and effort to build these tools and use cases to actually do that, right? That's what we're trying to do on our side as well, with the help of these extremely talented developers as well. So we are excited for the next steps in the future of the space, secure chain, evolve blockchain, and everyone else. And I thank you guys for having me here today. It's been a great conversation. I look forward to future conversations.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. And Dan Lutz, would you like to give your projects and think about it?
Sure. Well, the project that I'm working on right now is we have it's a Infinity International Development is a company that's looking at funding projects. So using traditional financial institution trade platforms to create these flow of funds. We use one of the requirements in accessing this is using a collateral. And so to get the collateral, we have another coin that we've basically secured in what we call asset vaults. We allow our members to basically move those around and they acquire those. We have the Infinity coin is what they have to use to get to the asset coins, but it's a private coin at this point. So we do a private contract, uh, uh, a private association, membership association, private contract association that is holding this coin, and so we keep that jurisdiction private. So, but we openly bring members in, and they're worldwide, and we have people from around the world. We have projects that are started in Africa, farming projects. Anyway, we're basically around the world, and my actually I have a project also for a crypto exchange, which has been coming up as well. But that's help our bridge over to the fiat fiat world. So a lot going on there right now. We're just about to use Tron's blockchain for our hosting the Infinity coin. We've lodged our jurisdiction into the Tron DAO, so we there. But we also at the same time have a public side that's going to be working on a separate coin that's security. So anyway, so a lot of different things going at the same time. But and as I said, we'll be working with the some of the new technologies that you're working with. So I appreciate everything, and it's been a long time we've been working together. So I really appreciate everything and the whole path that we've covered over 6 7 years now, something like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, very powerful. Thank you. Thanks for the sharing. We are at the end of the session, and we appreciate everyone who are listening live and those who will be listening this replay after this. I acknowledge all of those people, and yeah, wish everyone had a successful and happy weekend and have a productive weekdays ahead.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Hello, dear community. Thank you, everyone, for taking this time out and wishing every one of you a very happy weekends. See you, everyone, next Saturday. Actually, it would be on the next Black Friday. So stay tuned. This 28th November, we are launching CoinMask APK file on our website will be available. 10th of December will be available on Play Stores and App Stores. Will be live, and yeah, mark your calendars and let's have a wonderful holiday season together. Thank you, everyone.
Take care.